There's something out there that was better than our airplane.
Greetings, friends. It's Chapo. We're back again. It's me, Matt, and Felix coming to you this afternoon, this Monday. Before we get started on the show today, I will take this moment to take a victory lap on behalf of Felix for Saturday's absolutely legendary Dark Souls stream, in which Felix and all of our viewers, listeners, anyone who tuned into the Twitch stream or donated, raised over $120,000 for 3 different Palestinian charitable organizations. So that is, by my accounts, a 40 grand check for each one of these organizations. So Felix, please take a bow.
Thank you. I want to thank our chat first and foremost, primarily for the incredible pace and generosity they displayed, but also for, with the match, arriving at a really round number. It was going to give me hives if I had to round up or down, because we got into the, like 0.7857 cents territory. That would have been bad for me. This was one of the best days I've ever had on the computer. Seriously. Thank everyone so much for everyone who is involved. I mean, you, Will, you, Chris, came on and hung out. All the boys from the stream, Andrew and Zeke for playing DS3 co-op with me towards the end when I was getting tired. No, it was. I would have done that regard. I would have I probably played 40% more games than I would have anyway after my second shot, just in a fugue state. So it wasn't really difficult or anything for me. But the most important thing,
It wasn't
more than
difficult.
anything,
Game's easy.
I'm going to get into that. The most important thing is my excuses. Okay, first of all, those who tuned into the beginning, I was having trouble with Dark Sun Gwendolyn, one of the easier bosses in the game. This isn't my fault because second shot, I was tired, my stomach hurt, and I had fucked up the audio, and I was trying to figure out while I was doing that fight. The Abyss Watchers. Why did I die to the Abyss Watchers in co-op? I wasn't paying attention because I am medically low IQ from having the vaccine. Why did I die in Giant's Tomb so much? It was dark. I have bad eyesight. Next question. Those are the most important things I wanted to address.
That's true, but I mean, if you watch the stream and you can watch the whole thing, it's now saved on the Chapo FYM Twitch stream. At no point during any of the boss fights did Felix portray any fright. He was not afraid of any of the monsters, and I think that's also important. I think we need to mention that as well.
I was shivering inside, but I had to stick it out.
Well, that's what real courage is. It's not that you don't feel fear; it's that you don't let it, get to you.
I wouldn't say that, because since my second shot, I've noticed a very noticeable decrease in emotions on my part.
Well, it's like a staggering amount of money. I mean, I'm not saying we didn't think it would be successful or whatever, but I mean, it well exceeded I think what anybody was expecting in terms of just a fun charity stream on Twitch.
No, that was the craziest part. Is I expected it to do well, and I was planning on going for a really long time. But I expect by really well. I mean, still what would have been awesome and made my year $40K total. Because it was I had I spent a couple days promoting it and people were excited, but within the first 20 minutes, it was obvious we were gonna get to a 6-figure amount, because people were just so, I don't know, just the vibe in that chat is so good. We've seen our chat and our community respond to fundraising stuff before, but this was fucking insane. I don't know what else to say. It robbed words from me. It was beautiful to see, and we are doing an episode comprehensively about Palestine tomorrow, but this is the only way things get better. like not literally me streaming, but you know,
If you,
not literally
like, there's
me.
a certain like in Bloodborne. If you do a right button combo, like you fight Benjamin Netanyahu, and if you kill him, we cut off all aid to Israel.
But no, I mean, like more generally, like people not feeling helpless and realizing there is hope. I don't. It would be funny if I was saying like, I am the only way it can get better. I'm the only one who can solve this.
Charity video
I need
game
to do
streams.
more streams.
That's gonna. I mean, shit. I mean, the Will Menaker Resident Evil 8 stream. It's coming soon. I just have to pick the.
I can't wait for that.
The right charity. Whether it's the IDF or or the the West Bank Settlement Project. I don't know. Put me in touch with some good organizations. But you know, we want to make things fair here. But
my friend Davis like DM'd me during the stream during like hour like 12 and was like, "Oh, we're doing box fights in Fortnite. We haven't done that in a while. You want to do that?" And I haven't played Fortnite in like 2 years now. And I had been talking about playing it, and I was laughing so hard about how fucked up it would be if I just stopped the stream to do that. I don't even stream Fortnite. I'm like, no, it just gives me bad frames if I stream it. All right, bye, stream's over. Like, just how awful that would be.
no more money. No more money.
All right, bye, guys.
Well, I mean, like the 6-figure amount. I mean, it is one that I think anybody should take note of. And I was thinking about it over the weekend, and certainly not only your Dark Souls stream, but a very small facet of a larger thing that I think a lot of people are seeing right now as it relates to Israel and Palestine, which is a thawing of this dead consensus in terms of like a willingness among not radicalized or essentially like politicized, like normal people to like question this hegemonic narrative about Israel Palestine that has been like the algorithm that we talked about on last episode, this script that seems to have just been running pretty much unbroken. Now, I don't want to make it seem like, I don't want to say this as like a means to like say that it's hopeless or whatever, but I think we need to temper that reality with the fact that like even large shifts in public opinion on issues that previously, even 10 years ago, would have thought to have been impossible are not going to stop the violence from happening. They're not going to stop Israel from killing people, and they're not going to change U.S. policy towards Israel. I don't say that to like dishearten anyone, but just to sort of steel your nerves for what is a very like long and difficult fight here. But I mean, like it shows that like something's working. Like this consensus is cracking up. That being said, we don't really live in a country where a better discourse or a better public opinion on an issue like this is going to stop, for instance, Joe Biden from approving another $1 billion in arms sales to Israel just this weekend.
Yeah, it is going to be an incredibly long, arduous fight in the same way that apartheid in South Africa was. But I do feel more cause for optimism than I have in my entire lifetime with this specific issue.
Well, it was a remarkable thing that you pulled off on Saturday. Like it took me by surprise. I think it took a lot of people by surprise. And I like, as I said when I left the stream, it there was a lot of love there from the chat, from everyone who donated, a lot of love for the people of Palestine, and a lot of for the bravery that they're showing. But a lot of that comes from a lot of the anger and disgust and horror over what people see every single day, and a feeling of like helplessness to stop what's occurring. And like I said, I don't think, I mean, the money that you raise will do tangible, measurable good in people's lives, but again, it will not defeat like the U.S. government or the Israeli military or state, but people are feeling it. Like things are changing to a certain degree, and I mean, I'm just have to be just very impressed and proud of what you did, Felix. So I have to hugely tip my cap to you.
Thank you. No, I could not have done it without like everyone in chat, everyone who's hanging out. It made it all the more easier. But yeah, no, I mean, I have not seen liberal Zionists on their back heels like this in my entire life. But again, this could take decades. And I mean, it takes more than love. You also have to honor the resistance of Palestinians. There's also anger, there's also rage, there's organization, there's more than just love and good feelings. But again, I do feel cause for hope towards this in a way that I have not.
Well, it's just a question of like, when the consensus goes away, like what is the United States left with in terms of its policy? And like, even though they can, as we've said before, like they can carry out policy without any sort of democratic consensus or consent, certainly, but like what are they really left with? I mean, like, does it get more or less difficult? Like, I don't know, but like what we're seeing now is the crack up of that consensus. And like you said, Felix, the absolute tombstone of like any liberal Zionist self-justification or self-mystification or that whole line of reasoning and self-identification is just thoroughly a corpse now. There's no defending it.
Yeah, the new thing you're doing, if you would have been a liberal Zionist a few years ago, is now you're saying you're doing this sort of Vox-y thing of like, oh, well, why this specific thing when like there are tragedies that happen everywhere, and not doing like this is an old Zionist line of like, oh, why don't you do BDS to Saudi Arabia? And it's like, yeah, no, I'll stop buying from Aramco. No more Falcon deals for me, dumbass. But it's just saying like, oh, this is just like, Twitter isn't real life, guys. This is just a cultural affectation. Just for amount of good done, we should focus on different issues. And it's like, I'm sorry, do any of those other places, is there a fucking conference every year where all my elected representatives like pledge loyalty to whichever other place you're talking about? Do they train cops in our country? Do we give them $10 million a fucking day and God knows what else?
Do you have to sign a pledge that you will buy Sabra hummus if you want a job like working at a library in Texas?
Yeah. No, it's like this is obviously a very distinct thing. And I mean, just keep your eyes out for anyone who will obscure what is very obvious. It is not the relationship between the American empire and Israel is not just the default between two regular countries who are friendly to each other.
Yeah. And another thing I was thinking about as regards to this, like this dead consensus and like the ways in which people either for money or just as a hobby will find a way to like defend Israel in this country. Like this is similar to our conversation we had the other week about the the woke CIA recruitment video. Is that like both the woke and anti-woke lines are being used often by the same people to make the same point. Like it was like I feel it was only like a couple months ago there was like the Pick Crew, like Zionist avatar clique that was just like, I'm small bean, feeling very anxious and attacked right now. I'm feeling marginalized as a Zionist. Like prayers up for me or whatever. And then like I don't know, like these people have mutated or just got new burner accounts, but like often it's the same people now saying, the biggest threat to like, our safety as Jews in America is the woke movement and Black Lives Matter. It's just like, it's totally interchangeable for them. And that should tell you something about like the woke debate in general and its uses and abuses, or just the fact like how easily it can be it can be modded to fit any fucking narrative that supports adopting an anti-woke position because the CIA has like an ad about like, oh, I have imposter syndrome, like doesn't exactly inoculate you from fucking the depredations of like the U.S. empire or intelligence community, because they'll be happy to take the opposite line and sell you the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like we obviously think all that shit is silly, but it's like the CIA could also do like an ad with like Dennis Leary being like, hey, Nancy's, you want a real fucking job?
Well, no, because the people who appeal to that don't have the education that they're looking for. Like that specific thing was about recruitment. But generally, like some people have gotten in their head that because woke language is used to mystify material issues, that therefore the opposite side is some sort of authentic response to that and not also a cultural structure made up by the same people and exploited by the same fucking people to do the same mystifying work.
Well, yeah. Well, once again, thank you to everyone who donated. And should we put the three organizations and like the link to the show in case anyone didn't get a chance to donate? Maybe they can kick in after if they missed the Dark Souls stream. So I guess we'll put a link to those
absolutely.
3 organizations.
I just wanted to go back a little to the CIA video again. It was funny when people are like, this is bad because they're like using liberatory language. And the language in the video is like, I have anxiety. I love taking Wellbutrin. I'm addicted to it. It gets me high, actually. I have imposter syndrome. It's just like not anything.
It's validation of like people who have that stuff see somebody say, I have it and I'm able to call in drone strikes, and they feel like that is some sort of political validation of them as people. Because liberation means being personally validated.
All right, well, moving on today, here is some hot goss coming to you straight from the pages of the Daily Beast. Headline, Jeffrey Epstein gave Bill Gates advice on how to end, quote, toxic marriage, sources say. A person
Sometimes
who attended,
the side bitch isn't a bitch at all.
A person who attended meetings at Epstein's townhouse said Gates enjoyed holding court there. Holy shit, are Melinda Gates' lawyers and PR people putting Bill through the fucking ringer right now? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, this is... She's going to get like $1 zillion no matter what. I mean, are they trying to make sure that she gets like the Da Vinci Codex that he has or something? Fuck.
This entire thing has been funny because it's like seeing how much people default into just everything being like one of their stories, where it's like, oh, in the Bill and Melinda Gates relationship, there was a good guy and a bad guy. Like, one of them is the protagonist of the relationship.
Let's check out what the story said here. It says, bachelor sex offender Jeffrey Epstein gave Bill Gates advice on ending his marriage with Melinda after the Microsoft co-founder complained about her during a series of meetings at the money manager's mansion, according to 2 people familiar with the situation. Gates used the gathering at Epstein's $77 million New York townhouse as an escape from what he told Epstein was a toxic marriage, a topic both men found humorous, a person who attended the meetings told the Daily Beast. The billionaire met Epstein dozens of times starting in 2011 and continually through 2014, mostly at the financier's Manhattan home, a substantially higher number than has been previously reported. Their conversations took place years before Bill and Melinda Gates announced this month that they were splitting up. I think what's funny about that is, he's like, oh, he loved holding court at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion, and he loved complaining about the Melinda, shaking the rolling pin at him or whatever. In 2011 and 2014, like this is years after he had like served jail time for being a sex offender. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of these stories where they're just like, I found his lifestyle very interesting. It was just like you were hanging out with this guy after it was like public record that he had gone to jail for soliciting a teenager for sex.
Yeah, but he also had a lot of really good relationship advice. Not a lot of people can say that,
Yeah.
Those are precious resources.
Well, Jeffrey Epstein, the real reason he was rich and like had all those friends was that he was actually like Hitch. The movie was based on him.
He was a hitch for the rich people. He was not doing the sexual style assaults.
Sort of like
that's why Leon Black gave him like $1 billion fucking dollars. He's like, you saved my marriage.
Yeah, you taught me how to dance funky so that I can get my wife back.
Elbows 6 inches from the waist, 90-degree angles. Don't you bite your lip. Stop it.
all these sad sack Kevin James types who just coming to them like coming to him hat in hand. It's just like, help me, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
I need swag.
Yeah, Glenn Dubin was like, you gave me so much swag, I'm going to sell you my daughter.
It says here, Gates, in turn, encouraged Epstein to rehabilitate his image in the media following his 2008 guilty plea for soliciting a minor for prostitution, and discussed Epstein becoming involved with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I mean, yeah, like that is what these charities are kind of for, right? They're just like, oh yeah, why don't you get involved with our foundation? It'll help you really, really help your image out after the whole buying teenagers for the purposes of having sex with them. The people familiar with the matter said Gates found freedom in Epstein's lair, where he met a rotating cast of bold-faced names and discussed worldly issues in between rounds of jokes and gossip, a men's club atmosphere that irritated Melinda. Hell hath no fury like what? A woman scorned.
Well, like she should have found like a girl Jeffrey Epstein. to hang out with.
I just love the idea that they're treating Bill Gates hanging around with this guy who is like a Luciferian figure of unfathomable evil, like he's Ralph Cramden going to the Moose Lodge. And his wife is just waving the rolling pin at him.
I love it when I get home from like putting live infants in a burning Moloch statue. And
doing the brazen bull with a pre-K class.
Just fucking vaporizing them. I just come home like just smelling like ash, like blood rubbed on my face, and my wife comes out in a bathrobe and her rollers, and she's like, "Where have you been?"
Oh God, some more of this. Oh boy. I got a hard day's work at the Microsoft thing, piling up the foreskins. All I want to do is blow off some steam.
I have to do 5 videos tomorrow where I drink poop and like try to airdrop condoms on sub-Saharan Africa.
I'm figuring out a way to make it so that millennials will live in dog cages, and I got to hear this when I come home.
One of these days, Melinda, pow, right to the island. It's not an overstatement. Going to Jeffrey's was a respite from his marriage. It was a way of getting away from Melinda, one of the people who was at several of the meetings said, adding that Epstein and Gates were, quote, very close. A representative for Bill Gates told the Daily Beast, your characterization of his meetings with Epstein and others about philanthropy is inaccurate, including who participated. Similarly, any claim that Gates spoke of his marriage or Melinda in a disparaging manner is false. So he wasn't just the bitch about your wife club, according to Bill Gates. You know, I just go over to Jeffrey's house, hang out with the dudes, and complain about the old battle axe at home. And by the way, if you're as rich as Bill and Melinda Gates are, like, is it really a problem to be in a toxic marriage? You could just live in a different continent.
Yeah, no, I mean, and at that point anyway, it's like you're 2 multinational corporations. Even when you fuck, it's like the CEO of Nabisco and the CEO of Exxon, like, shaking each other's hands.
Bill never received or solicited personal advice of any kind from Epstein on marriage or anything else. Bill never complained about Melinda or his marriage to Epstein. A representative for Melinda did not respond for request for comment for this report. I mean, they didn't respond for request for comment from the report because they wrote the report. They're like, no, we gave you the comment. Yeah, it was just in all the sources we put you in touch with. As the Daily Beast exclusively reported, Melinda Gates was furious over Bill's relationship with Epstein and was put off by the creepy financier upon meeting him in September 2013 after the couple accepted an award at a New York City hotel. Melinda's anger, people familiar with the matter said, eventually led to the demise of Bill and Epstein's friendship. Shh. Yo, hold on to that L, folks. That's cringe.
Yo, sus. Yo, it's like Among Us, dude.
Among Us.
Yo, Melinda's sus. Goated.
I mean, I hate it when the wife gets in the way of bro time, you know?
Yeah.
Guys need to be guys.
Honest question.
Guys, we don't. What was it Andrew said on the stream? I was like, guys don't even have Spike TV anymore. There's nothing for guys to watch.
Honest question. Like Bill Gates, like obviously loved hanging out with Epstein, and then it's like Melinda made them break up like a year before he committed suicide. And do you think he like cried when that happened? Probably. He probably cried and was like, "Fuck you," and like slammed the door on his aircraft carrier. Or did he just like know it was going to happen and be like, you know, that's why I wanted more time hanging out with him. We're killing him soon.
I want some more of that great relationship advice before that we fucking stage his death.
I am like interested in his internal emotional world because it's like he probably knew that was coming, but there's also the part of him that was like, oh, I really liked hanging out with him. And now I can't even say goodbye because of my bitch wife. I mean, like, it's just such a weird, like, it's such a weird thing to try to navigate the human side of it, which I realize is weird to say with Bill and Melinda Gates, but it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, I know. It's just like these are 2 of the most Olympian demons of Earth. Like, these are archons of evil, like presiding over the coming, you know, liquefaction of a huge percentage of the global population. And they're also like the Lockhorns at the same time.
Yeah. It's so, because it's like, as awful as they are, it is like they are human beings who like have relationships with other human beings, even if they're like, all right, we have to kill you for the guy that lives on the Denver airport mural. And it's like, I don't know. I'm so curious about it.
I mean, I just love the whole idea that like he was just seeking advice from Epstein on how to be swag. Like I would give anything for like the minutes of those meetings where he's just like, now Bill here, it's called sarging. You want to put on a really wild hat when you go out.
And it's also like Epstein just like bought like 15-year-olds.
He looked like shit all the time.
It's like asking Jimmy Seville for like pickup tips. It's like insane.
No, I mean, again, like what's I love what like unspoken here in the thing is just like he's had a boys' club atmosphere. He loved hanging out with Epstein, and like his lifestyle was intriguing. I mean, it's like because he was a pimp for like every one of these rich nerds who are like demonically horny but have zero swag. So like that's why everyone in Epstein's circle is a guy like Bill Gates or Alan Dershowitz or Larry Summers or Steven Pinker, allegedly. I mean, isn't there a certain profile to all of these these lame nerds?
He collected the powerful and influential dorks.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, I can get you laid without you having to do any of the awkward stuff.
Yeah, it's literally like, get me the richest and most annoying men on the planet.
The guys who can't get laid even with all that money because of how fucking lame they are.
Like, imagine Dershowitz, like, before this, trying to have an affair.
Yeah.
How do you think that went?
I mean, again, like I think all of them are like, even with their wealth and power, are limited from like the like typical like angry husband affair having tactics, because like in order to have an affair, you have to talk to a woman.
Yeah,
and like I mean, like Alan Dershowitz bending your ear about anything is just about the most insufferable thing imaginable. So I mean, just remove all that and just buy teenagers from a from a dark money funded fucking global human trafficking pimp and financier to the rich and powerful.
It's like, imagine you're like a 28-year-old woman, you're in like sort of an upscale, like Upper Manhattan bar, you have like a form-fitting dress on, just hanging out, and then just like, you just smell like onions. This guy taps you on the shoulder and just like, have you ever been to Tel Aviv? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this guy, sure. Like, no, yeah, that's the whole point of Epstein.
No, he's like taps you on the shoulder. He's like, excuse me, my massage therapist, who's an 80-year-old Russian woman, she canceled on me last minute. I know this seems like an odd request, but I was wondering if you could just massage my shoulders for the next hour or so. On May 3rd, the high-powered couple announced they were ending their 27-year marriage in a statement that read in part, "We no longer believe we can grow together as a couple in the next phase of our lives. We ask for space and privacy for our family as we begin to navigate this next life." In her petition for divorce, Melinda said her marriage is irretrievably broken and indicated the couple had settled on a plan to divide their vast assets outside the courtroom. Last week, the New York Post reported that Gates told his golfing buddies he was in a loveless marriage, which had been over for some time, while people described Epstein as a sore spot in the couple's relationship. I mean, like, that's what's so, like, okay, so this is like, this is coming out now in the context of like their divorce, and I'm sure this is all being seeded by their various PR people and lawyers or whatever, but like still even reading this in the Daily Beast, this is all so veiled about, but it's so obvious what's absolutely going on here, that both parties from the get-go knew exactly who Jeffrey Epstein was and everything associated with him, and like what going over to hang out with Jeffrey entailed.
Absolutely. The only other explanation for this divorce here, and maybe even the Bezos divorce too, might be that these people are like liquefying assets before a coming global collapse that they don't want to get caught overexposed on, and they're just having these as like as a public explanation for what's happening with all their money. But if you're doing that, it still makes sense to cover that with another thing that's true, which is that Bill Gates loved going to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein.
People close to Bill Gates told the Daily Beast that the deterioration of the relationship could be seen in Bill and Melinda's body language. The couple used to interact with more laughter and ease, said one friend of Bill, who added that eventually being around them was like arriving at a summit. It wasn't like arriving at dinner with a couple or something. It was more like two heads of state, the friend added. So that's why Epstein could have been a factor in their split. But was it the factor? That I fundamentally don't believe. The friend said that the couple's strictly regimented existence as billionaire philanthropists supplanted the more normal life and levity they enjoyed in the younger years. Bill is far less comfortable being out in the world, the person said. For Bill, it was just so rare he was allowed to do normal things, which is what I think he really craved. Yeah, he craved doing normal things. Normal things. Normal guy stuff.
Yeah, like every neighborhood has the hangout for the married men where they summon the demon Baal.
That sealed chamber underneath Little St. James, that was just a man cave.
Yeah. No, everyone has sacrificed children to the misery pit. Every guy does it, and he didn't get to do it because he wasn't normal enough.
Gates may have visited Epstein, a person said, because Gates enjoys talking and ideas and basically arguing with people, and he can be a really brutal person to argue with. He likes nothing better than to get together and debate or lecture people or tell everyone he's doing what he's doing with the polio vaccine. He has an ability, unlike any other person I've met, to lecture to a table of people without stopping for an hour. Boy, wouldn't you love to hang out with this guy?
That's believe awesome. He had trouble finding friends.
Yeah,
it's awesome too because it's like people say that about Epstein, where it's like, oh, he before 2018, it was like, oh, he just loves big ideas, and then it's like you find out Epstein was just like stupid. Yeah, it's like, oh, it turns out the only thing this guy, the only thing this guy like knew anything about was pedophilia. But like when he would get scientists in a room, he would be like, yo, like is pee sterile? Yo, could you like clone me? Like,
what about you? Could you freeze my dick?
Yeah, and it was like, yeah. What were they? What were him and Bill Gates talking about then?
Big ideas, like if I nut into the freezer, can I come back to life 1,000,000 years from now?
Yeah. Yo, could you like make a dinosaur?
I mean, I wish they were talking. I wish they were talking about how to fucking do Jurassic Park. They were talking about how to fucking like how to create the T virus or something. I mean, like it was just like no, but it was all it was men that fit that profile, from like Epstein himself to Bill Gates to Dershowitz to fucking like all like Les Wexner, like run down the fucking list of all these guys. They would get together. Obviously availed themselves of, victims of sex trafficking. But, and then like the big ideas they would talk about is, how can I live forever? And how can I make sure that every child born in the future carries my DNA?
Yes.
How can I become all father to the new race of Morlocks that we're creating?
Yeah.
There was also that line that I just read.
Information the world lost.
There was that line I just read where it's like Bill Gates, he'd love to argue and lecture people. He'd love to tell you what he's doing with the polio vaccine. What's up? Wait, run that back. What is he doing with the polio vaccine?
I wanted to,
I thought that was sort of a settled issue.
A while.
Yeah.
What's he doing with it?
Well,
God damn it, Bill. Are you putting foreskins in the vaccine again?
I mean, we all know the main problem with the polio vaccine is that its IP rights aren't strong enough, and he's finally going to fix that.
Yeah, he's going to make sure somebody makes money off of it.
Yeah, it's like you did. Like, do you think you invented that? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Finally, here it says, according to the ex-employee, Melinda seemed to have a chip on her shoulder because no one really did see her as an equal to Bill, and her work didn't get as much media attention. It really irritated her that people were more into Bill.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to
like, what do you expect
on that one.
Yeah, like, I mean... You're not the head of Microsoft. Sorry.
He's the guy who stole all the ideas about the computer. He's the guy who did all the illegal antitrust shit. He's the guy who's taken all the foreskins. He's done the work. Yeah, respect on his name, please.
Oh man. I mean, she got her wish now because there are people who are like, yes, I stan Melinda Gates. My husband is also hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, and gave me the courage to stand up.
It's this here. Another former employee told the Daily Beast that Epstein was a topic of conversation among staff even in 2017, 3 years after the men's friendship reportedly fizzled, because of concerns that Gates' previous ties to Epstein could harm his reputation. When you work at the foundation, your whole job in life is to protect and preserve and build up the reputation of Bill and Melinda Gates, the person said. I think that's why it still came up. It's because everybody in the fucking building knew what was going on. Yes. Every fucking single person, which is insane to me. Like, I mean, Melinda Gates is such a fucking hero now. It's like, I mean, Jesus Christ, took her this long to divorce the guy. If she raised an eyebrow about this back in fucking 10 years ago. Well, I guess when there's not much money involved, it's very hard. Things move at a glacial pace.
Yeah, you got to figure out like who gets the clone slaves. That takes a while.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, are we going to split the space in the shared mega AI hard drive where we're going to upload our consciousness into when we die to become immortal? How much megabytes is going to be?
Can you imagine that?
Person?
Like they die and then they get uploaded into the cloud and they're like in the same cyber chamber or whatever the fuck for eternity.
Oh no, that's like Parent Trap. Like there's going to be a Parent Trap thing where like all of them are like immortal evil spirits. But their kids are like, oh my God, we should put them in the same blood crystal so they have to get back together. They're becoming like, they're morphing into Lovecraftian great ones. And they're like, oh my God, we both have to be the awful god of the cosmos, amygdala. This is never going to work. But then they like work.
You know what? They fall in love again. They get their groove back. They fall in love again, you know, and then like, you know, having every atom in their body pulled apart by like the great abyss really taught them. They found that levity and joy, you know, that flirtation, that spark that was there when they first started dating.
It's like, you know what? We had problems in our awful terrestrial bodies, but now that we've made Bloodborne real and we're great ones, like we found out why we first fell in love.
It was the human misery. We've somehow forgotten that over all those years. We gotten used to all the human misery that we were, all that psychic anguish that we would huff like fucking gasoline. We finally realized, oh yeah, that's what gets us off.
Moving on from Bill and Melinda Gates' marriage and the Jeffrey Epstein Boys Club, let's turn to another story now that raises the question: what's really going on here? What's really going on here? And I'm referring once again to the U.S. government, and now via 60 Minutes, via a 60 Minutes report, once again seeming to confirm the existence of UFOs. Now, by UFOs, I don't necessarily mean that the UFO doesn't necessarily have to mean an alien intelligence. But there was there's a segment on 60 Minutes last night. I don't know if you guys watched it. But, I mean, they cover a lot of the material that was leaked to the New York Times last year. I think you'll remember Haley and I, fellow UFO researcher and experiencer, delved into these videos that have been first leaked to the New York Times and now officially declassified by the Pentagon. And, you know,
they're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS, though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's like, look at that thing. It's rotating.
The Pentagon are saying that, like, you know, these are real. We can't explain them. And here they are. And, you know, like in the 60 Minutes piece was just like the people who were originally investigating this, and then the guy who leaked it to the New York Times just being like, yeah, we don't know what this is, and that disturbs us. But I sort of feel like with things like this, you have to kind of treat them like Snapple facts. And, you know, it's like 1 out of every 4 of them is true. And, you know, I'll say, like, I watched the piece, and it was pretty interesting. Again, if you've been on this tip, it's not exactly earth-shattering revelations or anything. But, I mean, yeah, like this is declassified now. The Pentagon has admitted that these videos are authentic and that they can't explain them. And that if you take everything at face value, or you just like confront it, like, you know, literally, like what it implies is not just the existence of, but like the wide proliferation of the existence of aircraft technology that is generations past anything currently like that is known to be conceivably possible. I mean, in the video, they talked to a Navy pilot who said that, like, in F-18 like training flights or whatever off the coast of Virginia Beach in Florida for like 2 years would see these things like all the time, like they were fucking pigeons, you know, like these hovering metallic orbs or shapes that would, you know, change without any means of like propulsion or visible machinery, change direction and travel at speeds that are like 13,000 miles an hour or something like that. That is just simply inexplicable. So I ask again, what's going on here?
My guess is it's some sort of the thing that makes most sense, because this is not like this is being forced out of them. Like, this is all the government saying, all right, should we tell them about the UFOs? Let's tell them about the UFOs. And then, like, this thing has been rolled out over the past couple of years now.
Yeah.
With this steady drop of leaks. Many of them coordinated by the guy from Blink 182.
Yep.
And his fucking like weird group that he created, To the Stars Academy, which he is running with a guy who was like a 20-year Army intelligence officer who like did fucking psyops in Afghanistan. And now they're telling us, yeah, hey, there's aliens. They might be a threat. You know,
Yep.
I know how you might be thinking like, hey, who are we fighting anymore? Well, have you considered aliens? Have you considered that the F-35 might not be useful against insurgents in Afghanistan, but it sure as hell might be useful against aliens from another planet? And if it isn't, well, then we just need to put more money into something that will be.
And like that was the framing of the 60 Minutes segment with Bill Whitaker was like one of the two of the main figures in it. Like one of them was like a 20-year veteran of Army intelligence who was put in charge of the Pentagon's like ATIP program to like look into these like like gun camera and radar and infrared footage of these UFOs. And then the other guy who leaked these videos to the New York Times was a high up intelligence official in the Obama and Bush administrations, which certainly colors the nature of these revelations. But beyond that, like the way that the people who are sort of coming forward now with this unclassified information that they want to share to you are like particularly the Navy pilots who talk about this stuff. They talk about it in the terms of like, we need to take this seriously because could be a threat. And they're not saying it's aliens, but they're saying it could be Russia and China and having like some sort of tactical aircraft or surveillance capability that we're not aware of.
The same skunk works that built the Havana Syndrome ray gun.
Yeah, no, exactly. We just saw another story today about that. Yeah.
These guys, it's all these other countries. They have somehow leapfrogged us by generations in technology. In which case, we need to just disband the government. Like we fucking spent how many trillions of dollars in defense have we spent since World War II, and we aren't the ones with the fucking the flying saucers? Pathetic.
Yeah. Also, I mean, usually, so this has been moved into being like, a safe conspiracy theory, like the cute one to have, because it's like, John Podesta is
Harry Reid.
purportedly into it, Harry Reid, and it's like, you got to think something's up there. And I mean, honestly, remember with the Podesta leaks, the like Daily Beast people were like, "Oh, there's nothing to see here, but look at this cute email about fucking flying saucers." And it's like, wait, where's the Libya stuff? Like, what the fuck are you trying to paper over here? So I don't know. Maybe something like actually horrifying coming.
John Podesta, Harry Reid was the first one to ask for a Senate inquiry into this. Harry Reid, and even your former leader, James Earl Carter, saw what he described as a UFO, but it was really only Venus. Roll that clip.
Even the former leader of your United States of America, James Earl Carter Jr., thought he saw a UFO once. But it's been proven he only saw the planet Venus.
But here's the funniest part about the 60 Minutes segment is that, like, it was pretty interesting. I'm like, I can't fucking explain what's going on here. I mean, like, I've not seen anything to suggest that these, like, nose cone camera and like infrared videos of these objects are fake. I mean, I suppose they could be, but like, if they're real, I mean, it implies something fairly disturbing and like shocking about, the parameters of what we think is like, technologically possible on this planet and in this universe. But that being said, the whole 60 Minutes segments the last interview about like, what happens now? What do we do with this? The last interview segment is with fucking Marco Rubio, which really put like a whole, it put a bad sheen on like, because I want to believe, like I very much view myself
Oh my God.
as a young Fox Mulder. I love sunflower seeds. I have a passion for the truth, a skepticism, and a pornography addiction. But, it's like the fact that like the guy spearheading the effort to be like, we have to look into this. It's serious. We need to start there needs to be a process to like start metabolizing this truth into our consciousness is bar none probably the dimmest, most incurious senator who's like maybe ever held office.
It turns out that Nicolas Maduro is an alien.
Yeah. No, the Philip Green from Casino for the NWO, Marco Rubio. Like, that's him, and, yeah, makes you wonder.
We elected him because he's so fucking smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we play the clip of Marco Rubio talking about UFOs? And I want you, listeners, you won't be able to see this. You can watch it for yourself. But Matt and Felix, pay close attention to what Marco is doing with his lips and mouth while he's giving this interview.
He's always having fun with those. he's always like, damn, hope my lips don't get too dry. I better lick them every 3 seconds.
Task force. Service members now are encouraged to report strange encounters, and the Senate wants answers.
Anything that enters an airspace that's not supposed to be there is a threat.
After receiving classified briefings,
Wait,
Senator
are you like
Marco
gumming
Rubio
coke?
called for a detailed
What the
analysis.
fuck?
This past December, while he was still head of the Intelligence Committee, he asked the Director of National Intelligence and the Pentagon to present Congress an unclassified report by next month. This is a bizarre issue. The Pentagon and other branches of the military
Wow.
have a long history of sort of dismissing this. What makes you think that this time is going to be different?
I mean, we're going to find out when we get that report. There's a stigma on Capitol Hill. I mean, some of my colleagues are very interested in this topic, and some kind of giggle when you bring it up. But I don't think we can allow the stigma to keep us from having an answer to a very fundamental question.
What do you want us to do about this?
I want us to take it seriously and have a process to take it seriously. I want us to have a process to analyze the data. Every time it comes in, that there be a place where this is cataloged and constantly analyzed until we get some answers. Maybe it has a very simple answer. Maybe it doesn't.
What a compelling speaker. What an amazing speaker. America really lost an opportunity not electing him.
Who knows what it is? All I know is the NSA needs to be able to read every one of your emails to make sure that you're not an alien.
He is. First of all, like Marco Rubio's confidence in speech, it's like if Joe Biden didn't have the funny flubs, it's just all the
halting fucking
momentum.
yeah, exactly.
But his people who can't see the video. I mean, I recommend you watch it just for this part. But it looks like Rubio is trying to get a piece of popcorn out of his lower row of teeth and then has a horseshoe of Copenhagen in his top row of teeth. What he is doing with his mouth and lips in it is insane.
It's like Mr. Ed when they put the peanut butter in to make him talk.
Yeah, and it is easy to skip past this because an adult shouldn't do that with their mouth, much less a U.S. senator. But what he's saying is just nonsense. It's just bullshit.
We need a process. We need a process and a workflow for the aliens.
Yeah, if there were superhuman great ones or deep ones coming who were we're gonna enslave you forever, we're gonna harvest eggs from you, we're gonna lay spider eggs in your head, and it was well, Marco Rubio is standing in between you and that. All right,
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Just do this now, dude. Fucking stick the space spiders in my asshole now. It's no, he's not stopping it.
I mean, I'm glad we have a chance to talk with you about this issue now, Felix. Thanks to mids, I think your mind is able to metabolize information like this. This is, I think, too scary for you previously. Or you would like to avoid topics like this before you started using mids regularly.
Yeah, if I had before mids, I probably would have left the recording in fear. But now I can face the scary reality.
Well, I mean, it's like, I mean, I've remained fascinated with this story and like the images collected from these Navy jets about what's going on here. And like I said, I have a kind of Snapple facts mentality about how I approach stories like this, but I do want to believe, and every 1 out of 4 Snapple facts is true or something like that. So, I mean, like, while maintaining my skepticism here, I think it's worth considering the implications of, if even part of this is true, what the fuck is going on, and like, what are we like? Have we? Maybe we have passed through some sort of membrane into another reality or something. I don't know. I would just like to offer an alternate explanation for these unidentified flying objects, because I mean, obviously, when you bring up UFO, everyone's minds always turn to intelligent life that is of extraterrestrial origin. Could be that. No one brings up time travelers, though. Do you think that there's a good chance that these crafts could be time traveling vessels, and that like the people piloting them are just human beings from a future? Could be. I don't know. I'd like Marco Rubio to look into that.
We gotta see if anybody is winning any large sports bets. We would know if that was the case.
Marco Rubio thinks he's being tailed by a looper, but it's just like one of his 50 sons he forgot about. Oh, right. This is from family number 7. No.
It's a craft was able to change direction and pull 10,000 G's, moving 60 miles in 1 second to serve him alimony papers.
He's like, it would be so funny if, I mean, I do have my own theories about extraterrestrials and like things that I think are, well, I think some things are like ancient extraterrestrials, not the ancient aliens, like, they built Chichen Itza, but it's more like, I think it goes into my general theory about how we don't have a proper evaluation of a lot of animal intelligence. And it's like, yeah, I could see something like octopuses came from another planet, but like 1 billion fucking years ago, and they just figured out how to live in the ocean. And, they have cognitive abilities that we can't quite process. But, it would... Like, I really can't think of, like, putting a worse foot forward between us and aliens than Marco Rubio. Like, that is just, like, that's the Covenant glassing the planet. They'll be like, oh, there's just nothing here. Like, these things they're not self-cognizant. They don't know what death is. They can't, like, they would see Marco Rubio, like, he would leave the meeting with the aliens, and he would be, like, pushing a pole door like, for 10 minutes, and they'll be like, yeah, we should just like get rid of this.
Yeah, we could just put the highway right through here. There's not going to be lost at all.
Yeah, there's some iridium we can grab, but like these things are just like annoying and they're stupid. Like they would treat us like deer.
I mean, I like I said, I want to believe that Kush aliens are real and that we can commune with them in some way. But another interesting detail from this 60 Minutes story and the news accounts that it's generated is that all of these UFO sightings took place in U.S. airspace, either off the coast of Virginia, Florida, or California, near very large military bases, which I guess like makes sense because that's what they're doing these flights out of, and like doing these training runs in squad formation with these F-18s or whatever. But it does seem that like to reiterate, the Navy pilots said that they would see these things almost every day for a year or years, flying out of these Air Force bases or Navy bases or whatever, not important. But that they're clustering the east coast of the Atlantic like fucking seagulls or something, but it's like only America, and I guess like I don't know, maybe America's the only one admitting to it now, but it does seem telling that they're like highly associated with American Navy and Air Force bases or airspace. I don't know. Like they didn't encounter any of these unidentified flying objects, like enforcing a no-fly zone over Iraq, or any of the, or like in the Persian Gulf, or like any of the any missions in which they wouldn't just be like on a training run. You know what I mean? Like it's a little thread of like skepticism, or what does that really mean or imply? I don't know, but once again, I want to believe.
Yeah, we gotta smoke up with the aliens. It's our only hope.
Yeah,
that's why. Even if this isn't some sort of limited hangout thing or just a pure psyop to keep the Space Force going. So we can have, like, orbiting laser platforms that we say are for the aliens, but are actually like cook your brain if you try to do BDS. Like even if these are aliens, there's no way they're a threat in any meaningful sense. Like if they're hostile, one, I think they would have done something by now, and two, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it anyway. Who cares? We'd be owned. They would own us. So more realistically, they're not. They're chilling. They're hanging out. They're seeing what's up. I mean, if you're that advanced, I really do have that Posadist belief that a society that is that advanced is beyond our conceptions of like domination and hostility and conquest. And they would just want to smoke.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the only, like, I mean, we conceive of alien contact in the terms of, like, you know, colonialism, because
that's what we do
in world history. Like, that's like the phenomenon that, like, most closely, like, it provides an analog to, like, what it would be like for us to encounter, like, a vastly advanced alien civilization, right? We would have just assumed that they would just fucking wipe us out and take all the shit that we have on our planet. I mean, again, if you've mastered intergalactic travel, I don't really know what you'd want to take.
You don't need
Earth.
Anything.
Yeah.
You've got the thing where you press a button and you can make anything into anything.
However,
yeah, well, okay. Well, have you guys considered my screenplay the worst fucking screenplay ever written? And it's called Sound Check, and it's about aliens who have mastered everything, like time travel, wormhole travel, space colonization, but they don't know how to make music. And they come to Earth, and it's an across the universe style, like, musical, where the aliens, like, learn from the Beatles, the Bee Gees, Elvis, David Guetta.
Shout out to his family.
It's LMFAO, all of them. And yeah, that could be it.
Well, similar to Felix's screenplay idea, you know, my theory is that, like, what would a civilization a million years scientifically and culturally more advanced than the human race, what would they want from planet Earth? Like, you know, what could they possibly, like, other than just tapping the glass for their own amusement? And I think the answer is, what if our pale blue dot is the only place in the known universe that has Kush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the only planet.
They've tried, but it doesn't work.
No, it's not the same. It's they only can. As advanced as their technology is, they can only create K2 synthetic weed, and our little corner of this galaxy is like they've produced the only conditions under which that gas can be produced in abundance. So the Kush aliens, they want to come here and they want to smoke with us.
Yes,
they want to take us to their dealer.
6 billion years in global history of the natural course of the planet, every lucky thing that happened, it's the only conditions that can create the strongest weed of all time, Dro.
No, it's like...
yeah.
So, like...
Yeah.
I mean, like...
The dinosaurs had to die for Dro.
Well, I mean, maybe they killed off the dinosaurs to create the conditions in which, like, bipedal hominids could one day refine cannabis strains into just like that Jim Belushi gas that he's growing out there in Oregon.
Yeah,
Jim, are you listening? Jim, are you listening? Please help.
It's like, okay, you know what it's like? It's like if we found out like lemurs were making like the greatest beer of all time. It's exactly like that. Like, it's like cute little critters, but it's like, damn, this is better than any beer ever.
So, like, yeah, they redirected that comet to wipe out the dinosaurs to give rise to, you know, mammalian hominid evolution, and then also like 2001 style, they dropped that monolith right at the exact moment to create consciousness so that we could one day produce gas.
That's
killer.
It.
Yeah,
that's it. And you got to figure the aliens, like, what do they live in? They live in like an Elysium type thing, or like the Covenant. There's no, like, the conditions you need to make Dro or just really good mids is like, you know, it's someone's gross room that smells like a terrarium. It's a guy with a snake who he's constantly feeding like frozen rats to. They don't have that.
Well, I gotta say, just watch the skies. Watch the skies. I mean, I just think, like, just be open to the experiencing. That's all I'll say. Yeah. And, you know, Senator Marco Rubio is now our ambassador to a galactic civilization.
Yeah, he's fucking Admiral Hood from Halo. That's so dark. It's him. Yeah, Master Chief is like Dan Crenshaw.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's just odd. Like, we're dealing with like this moment of like, perpetually cascading and unwinding apocalypses, and like our search for meaning, and just like sort of withdrawing inward into ourselves and looking for like pseudo religious explanations and grand gestures about Mandela effect, like we're just shifting timelines constantly, and that's why I don't remember this TV show the same way I did when I watched it, because I was watching a different TV show with something else happened that I remembered from a different reality, or that we've crossed the threshold and we're now like we are now openly making contact with like advanced alien technologies. I hope it's true, but like I always fear that the more awful and boring explanation is probably right, which is that this is just some sort of advanced weapons program or psyop to get us to spend another $1 trillion on our military.
It's just, it would be funny to like to get pulled over for drunk driving and be like, oh, I thought it was illegal to not do this. The Mandela effect got me again.
It all started going wrong when they turned on that Large Hadron Collider. We've been shifting realities ever since then.
It's true. I mean, that like aliens are more likely to be interdimensional than interstellar.
That's true.
You fire that puppy up, and all of a sudden, guys just start. They're like taking a Sunday drive, and all of a sudden they take a wrong turn, and boom, they're hovering over a Dave & Buster's in Idaho.
Have you noticed ever since they turned on the Large Hadron Collider? Okay, the best rapper is a woman. Best golfer is a guy. The 3 most powerful guys in the world are named Colin, Dick, and Bush. Something's up.
Among Us.
Damn, alien sus.
You ever notice that ever since they turned on the Large Hadron Collider, like I've been getting pussy like crazy, dog. What's up?
I recommend it.
All right. Last thing for today. This one comes curious. File this one away in the wonderful ways in which corporations are making the workplace better for their employees. This comes courtesy of Amazon. Press release. From body mechanics to mindfulness, Amazon launches employee-designed health and safety program called Working Well across U.S. operations. So, I mean, I know they've gotten some bad press lately, but surely this press release will allay any fears about people dying in their warehouses or pissing and shitting in bottles. Today, Amazon announced the launch of Working Well, a new comprehensive program providing employees with physical and mental activities, wellness exercises, and healthy eating support that are scientifically proven to help them recharge, re-energize, and ultimately reduce the risk of injury. I like that right off the bat in this like press release copy, it reads exactly the same way that like those Instagram ads that sell you better dog food sound like. They're like scientifically proven to provide enrichment to your pet.
Our employees have the shiniest, healthiest coats in the industry.
Don't give them dry food. These frozen meals have real meat in them, sure to prolong your elder dog's life. I'm just going to skip ahead here. It says, Amazon takes our safety very seriously, and managers have made it clear to me it's more important than ever, even productivity and quality, said Jeffrey Koo, operations employee at Amazon Fulfillment Center in Aurora, Colorado. Working Well is an extension of that. It makes sure we're taking care of our minds and bodies. It encourages us to make positive changes to how we work. And since I started watching the program's health and safety videos, I've incorporated a stretching routine into my day. I'm just going to go ahead here and read like the bullet points of like the items available in this program here. So it says here, this is under the headline, scientifically proven health and safety education exercises. Health and safety huddles. Daily opportunities to engage employees on strong body mechanics, wellness topics, and ongoing safety education. Operations leaders and small groups of socially distanced employees gather near workstations and watch short interactive videos on rotating topics created by health and safety professionals and injury prevention specialists. Topics rotate on a monthly basis and range from gripping and handling, pushing and pulling, nutrition, and more. In the last year during its pilot phase, health and safety huddles contributed to reducing MSD-related injuries and received nearly 90% positive feedback from surveyed employees. So get in the cuddle huddle. We're teaching you how not to get your arm ground up by one of our robots.
Yeah, that's it. Is that this is so that when one of the machine arms goes crazy and pulls your dick off, they go, well, you didn't stretch. Fair enough. I mean, let's be honest here. You didn't do the full stretching exercise regime beforehand. What did that contribute to it? We don't know.
How's your breathing?
Comp for you.
Well, how's your? Yeah, a lot of people don't know, but yoga can help with urine retention, which is something that Amazon employees have struggled a lot with.
I mean, like, you're on the line, you're packing boxes, you're meeting your quota. Do you know that if you contract the muscle that you usually use to cut off a stream of urine, just like on your own, quietly to yourself, you can last longer during sex? Yeah. You won't bust. It's a little exercise that anyone can do at any time of the day for overall wellness improvement.
Absolutely.
Okay, speaking of which, wellness zones provides employees with voluntary stretching and muscle recovery via easily accessible dedicated spaces within Amazon's operations buildings. These areas incorporate interactive videos and written information to help employees proactively improve their health and wellness in areas like body mechanics, wellness topics like best practices in stretching, ongoing safety education, and more. So a wellness zone would that is essentially what in a previous era would just be called the employee lounge or cafeteria.
I mean that's the future. It's just instead of break rooms, they're like mindfulness, like kennels.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like it. Like you go into the wellness zone, and there'll be healthy snacks for you to eat. There'll be like lots of information about breathing and stretching. What will not be there? OSHA regulations or anything about forming a union in the U.S. labor law. Because it's true. Like in any workplace, like in the break room, they always have like the OSHA guidelines and like U.S. labor, like that, like they're sort of laminated posters that are like just there because it's just like they're just covering their bases in terms of not getting sued. This is the best one though. Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon guides employees through mindfulness practices and individual interactive kiosks at buildings. During shifts, employees can visit Amazon stations and watch short videos featuring easy-to-follow well-being activities, including guided meditations, positive affirmations, calming scenes and sounds, and more. Employees like Katie Miller from the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Etna, Ohio, say the pilot program has been helpful. She shared, "Self-care is important, and Amazon gives me an opportunity to take time for myself to just pause and regroup, which helps me be better at work. When I take that time, I come back to work more focused, and it has a lasting effect on the rest of my day." These Amazon kiosks sound exactly like what they did to Edward G. Robinson at the end of Soylent Green.
Yes.
They're like, watch this calming video of a stream and a deer drinking from it. return more focused than ever,
unless you've fallen below quota for too many consecutive quarters, in which case pay no attention to the soothing wellness juice being pumped into your femoral artery.
Let's see here. Using technology to connect with employees in buildings and at home. Mind and body moments. Hourly prompts employees receive at their workstations, guiding them through a series of scientifically proven physical and mental activities to help recharge and re-energize and ultimately reduce the risk of injury. These activities, designed to reduce muscle and mental fatigue, range from various stretching recommendations, breathing exercises, and mental reflections. Since piloting this program in select sites, employees have shared that these moments have improved their physical and mental well-being while at work. By the end of the year, mind and body moments will evolve to more personalized prompts. Just that's bone chilling. I mean, hey, you know what'd be a good a mind and body moment for me if I can take a lovely 20-minute crap looking at my phone on company time. How about can I leave and smoke a cigarette outside for like 5-10 minutes? That to me is mindfulness and a mind body moment that would leave me that would recharge my work juices.
No, instead we'll offer you proven Eastern techniques to absorb the feces into your body without having to go to the bathroom.
These are the same proven Eastern techniques that they used on John McCain at the Hanoi Hilton. certain stretching positions we find very motivating to our employees. We connected them with a personalized bamboo cane. The Working Well mobile app will soon provide at-home access to all of the on-site safety, health, and wellness offerings in Amazon buildings, including Amazon Eat Well, Mind and Body Moments. The Working Well mobile app offers employees a digital library to help facilitate proactive wellness behaviors like stretching and muscle recovery, mindfulness exercises, and body mechanics coaching. Working Well was developed by employees who care deeply about their coworkers and are dedicated to promoting workplace health and safety. The Working Well team will continue to elicit feedbacks and ideas from employees and use the science of safety to solve problems and establish new industry best practices in its relentless pursuit to support employees and keep them healthy and safe every day. So yeah, the mindfulness kiosks, they follow you home. They'll tell you to do stretches when you're at home. They'll tell you to do stretches on your time. And it's like all this stuff about like body mechanics and stretching or whatever. I mean, like this is just all about the fact that like the workforce at these fulfillment centers are like mostly over the age of 50 and they're doing like physical labor on their feet for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to give you the mandatory prostate exam when you get home.
But I mean, if they ate healthier snacks, they wouldn't be so, beleaguered.
And all these wonderful choices that you get, it's going to be so fun as they become mandatory. As like you have to spend an hour in the ISO cube every day to reduce their possible, loss of productivity from your hamstrings snapping on the fucking fulfillment line.
What a fucking nightmare. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just, oh, God.
Not good, folks. Folks.
It's very bad. It's very bad. Very bad. It's the idea that like at the workplace is bad enough, but the idea that this will follow you home and you'll be getting personalized prompts to like direct you to stretch, breathe, or watch a mindfulness video on your own fucking time just so that you can bear to space another 10 or 11 hours on the fucking line at one of these gulags. Jesus Christ. Just, oh God. Aliens. Yeah. God, Kush aliens, please.
We need the Kush aliens.
Please,
we need the Kush aliens to come.
Could you just flip the switch on the next big paradigm shift in evolution? We need it right now so badly. We need it so bad.
We need another finger. We need like an extra thumb or something. We need our pineal glands to just quadruple in size.
I know you're probably just talking to dolphins or whatever, but like we need your help. You're our only hope.
Stop talking to the dolphins. The dolphins are fucked. They've got fins. There's nothing they can do.
We need your help so bad. So bad.
Come on, man. We got the good dang shit. We've got better weed than we've ever had. We're doing seismic advances in weed. We could blow that shit right into your dome. Just come here and use the fucking Mars attacks gun on fucking Bezos, please.
And Marco Rubio.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, like Mars Attacks was a utopian film because the end of that movie, like humanity is reborn into paradise.
Yeah, after they destroy the entire ruling class.
Yep. Oh man. Well, heaven is out there in space, but it remains hell on Earth.
Indeed.
Till next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.